Welcome back to 13 Sunrise, a live look from downtown Indianapolis to get your day started. Monday morning, 6 o'clock, a live look over downtown Indianapolis as you join us here on 13 Sunrise. Thanks for waking up with us. Thanks for starting your work week with us. I'm Sam, in for Julia this week, along with Julia and Lindsay. It was a hot weekend.
Yeah.
You maybe even had some storms where you were, and it'll be hot again today.
You didn't see those fans there blowing that much. Not the fan, the flags there blowing that much. You will probably need a fan as you get started this morning because we do have heat and humidity that is helping us on this Monday morning.
It is not going to change whatever we had around this weekend. If you liked it, you're going to like today. If you didn't, probably not going to like today. We have a cold front, though, that is going to arrive tomorrow. So we do have some changes in the forecast. It's just not going to happen for today just yet. I want to take you up to Carmel this morning where we're looking live and we are awaiting the sun to officially rise over that eastern horizon right at 7 a.m. today. So dark and early right now, but it is still very warm, still pretty muggy as well. 74 the current temperature here in the Indy Metro. Typically we do see the coolest part of the day just before the sun comes up. So another hour or two, we have the coolest temperatures that we will see today, and then a quick warming trend once the sun does rise. 70 right now in Shelbyville. We're at 64 over in Richmond. Quickly again, going to rise to the 80s, back into the low 90s again for today. Mostly clear start, but with the heat of the afternoon, we will see some of those fair weather clouds developing, becoming partly cloudy. Across the board today, we're going to be above average. 89 in Kokomo, 91 from Indy down to Greencastle and Columbus, as Bloomington is headed to 93 degrees later today. I want to walk you through the timeline of these changes that I talked about. This is going to take us through 7 o'clock. This evening, again, a stray pop-up storm will be possible as that boundary starts to slowly track into the northern tier of the state. Same deal during the overnight. Do think there's a better chance of that stray shower in northern Indiana, far northern Indiana, outside of the central part of the state. Getting into Tuesday afternoon, that's when that front will arrive, and that's what's going to bring that more widespread shower and storm activity, low and severe threat. So at least that is some good news, but I do think there could be some brief heavy rainfall as well as some lightning that could impact outdoor plans Tuesday afternoon. We'll talk about the effects of this cold front as some slightly less humid air will eventually arrive here across the state. That's coming up in your full forecast. 6:02 now, coming up on 6:03 here on this Monday morning. It's been pretty quiet across the area so far today, so we'll start with a look at that complete closure from over the weekend. This did open ahead of schedule. It was supposed to stay closed through the top of the 6 o'clock hour, but it's been open since before 4 o'clock this morning. Got our live in.dot camera fired up here along 65 at Keystone Avenue. Over this past weekend, it was a complete closure of 65 in between 465 and the South Split. But this is a live look there as you look north from Raymond Street, looking at that South Split in the construction zone. All those lanes have since cleared, so that's some good news. And as far as any delays in that construction zone, only about a 1-minute slowdown coming down 65 south. We will keep you posted with any new accidents or delays that develop for your morning commute.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. We'll begin this morning with the desperate search for a missing toddler that ended in tragedy.
The 3-year-old pulled from a retention pond yesterday evening at an apartment complex on Indy's northeast side. Metro police tell us that toddler's mom got home to find the door open and her child missing. When she checked the doorbell camera video, she noticed the 3-year-old had gone outside about a half hour earlier. That's when she called police and started calling for that child. And police tell us a neighbor joined in on that search at Avalon Lake Apartments, finding the child in the water.
When police arrived, they tried CPR until an ambulance arrived, and sadly, that child passed at the hospital. IMPD says that losses like this aren't just devastating to that family, obviously, but officers and witnesses.
Chaplain will be working with the family and with the officers because that's a tough thing for that civilian who helped out. That's very, very difficult. And of course for the officers it's very, very tragic because you see too much death on this job, and to really work on that child and do the best they could and then have it not turn out great, it's just horrible for the officers too.
There's still some follow-up questions in this investigation, and IMPD is working to find out who was home with the child and how they were able to get outside.
Metro Police are also investigating another violent weekend in the Circle City. This morning, police tell us they are investigating several shootings from over the weekend.
Yeah, at least 10 people were shot. This was 6 separate incidents around town. Anna Chalker is live with a breakdown of all of these investigations. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, ladies. Police telling us those shootings happened in all different areas of the city. One of those locations had 5 people shot in total. So I want to show you a map of where those shootings happened. The first one happening over earlier, like you could see on that screen, like we said, Browse Avenue. We'll get to that in just a minute. But according to public police reports, at least 10 people were shot this weekend and 1 juvenile was killed. And like we said, the first one happening on the northeast side. Police say that happened around 3:30 Saturday morning when they responded to Browse Avenue and found 3 of the 5 victims. And shortly after, another took themselves to Community East Hospital. And hours later, officers say a person was found shot on Meadows Way. And investigators believe that victim is the 5th one of this shooting. Then on Sunday morning, just before 7, IMPD says a man was shot in a neighborhood on Findlay Avenue on the southeast side. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police are asking anyone with information on any of those shootings to reach out to them. Now, the shooting that killed 1 juvenile actually happened at a short-term rental property party, and police say people fled the scene before they could even get there to get to any witnesses. So coming up at 6:30, you'll hear the message from IMPD about asking the community members to come forward to help them find any suspects.
So crucial for that information, Anna. Thank you. This morning, we're hearing from Indy's top cop about a controversial demonstration by an apparent hate group over the weekend.
And we are aware of video circulating on social media of that event. We are not showing that to you at this time, but we are now hearing from IMPD Chief Chris Bailey, who released a statement saying, quote, hate has no home in our community. Chief Bailey's statement read in part, quote, safeguarding First Amendment rights, even for those whose views we find reprehensible, is a responsibility we take seriously. He goes on to say, but let me be clear. Protecting those rights is not an endorsement of those beliefs. Not now, not ever. That full statement can be found on our website, WTHR.com. Your time is 6:07. Happening tonight, AES customers have a chance to have their voices heard before possibly higher energy bills.
And a lot of people are speaking up about this already, but Marina Silva is here in studio with just how much extra you could pay and where you can speak up about this. Good morning, Marina.
Good morning, ladies. This proposed rate increase is making a lot of people upset. It could mean an extra $20 on your bill by January 2027. AES filed for a 2-phase rate increase, saying they need more money for rising costs and investment. The proposal includes 7.5% hike in early 2026 and another 6% hike in January 2027, potentially adding $21 a month. Citizens Action Coalition recently held a town hall where concerned citizens spoke up, noting that with past increases, that cost is closer to $30 a month. Now, you have the chance to go voice your comments. Tonight's meeting is the first of 4 public hearings held by AES. Just a few weeks ago, the Citizens Action Coalition held their own meeting. Hoosiers that showed up to the coalition meeting are upset.
I have constituents who make the decision, do I buy food, do I buy medicine? If you buy food and you got a power outage for 7, 8, 10 days, your food's gone.
Now, that first public meeting is tonight at 6 p.m. at the Indianapolis Public Library West Perry branch. If you can't make it to that one, there are 3 others that are coming up in the next couple weeks. You can also write a letter to AES and let them know your thoughts.
You know, people do have thoughts, but it's an important time to actually get those to the people that are asking to hear your comments.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Marina. But right now, city leaders are continuing their efforts to get unhoused people off the streets in Indianapolis.
And that's why dozens of faith groups decided to help those people as much as they could over the weekend. Christ Church Cathedral is one of many congregations here in Indianapolis joining the Streets to Home initiative. And the goal there is to raise money and gather resources for nearly 2,000 people in our city who are experiencing homelessness.
When all of our neighbors are housed, we are a better community. We are there for each other. And so we encourage people, whether you're a part of a faith community or not, to be a part of this effort.
Well, the program hopes to house 350 people by next summer. They're also working with people living in the Fountain Square homeless encampment, connecting them with housing resources. The city ordered for that camp to be clear by last Monday, but at last check, there are still tents there on that property.